Hey y'all, and welcome back. I hope you're staying cool because we're cooking over here in Merida, Yucatan, and we're having a lot of issues with the power. I understand climate change, but come on now, this is really getting ridiculous. Now, head over to LaShawn Will's channel. She just made a video about this, a little bit more detailed than what I'm gonna give you, but she definitely talks about a lot of points that you'll need to know, pointers that you'll need to know coming here if you're planning to come to Merida. There's a few little things that I'm gonna add that she didn't talk about, so I'm gonna put a link down in my description box to her channel. Go over there and check her out and see what she has to say. Okay, so you already know Merida is hot. If you don't know, well, you need to do some research because Merida is very hot. So lately, it has been, the actual temperature has been 106, 107, 108. Yesterday was 109. The shade temperature was 107, and the temperature feels like was 113, okay? The electrical grid is either going down or they are shutting it off, because they've already said this in the news. They're shutting it down to prevent a total meltdown of their system, okay? Because they're reaching these critical levels of, danger to the power grid. They declared a state of emergency because it just ain't Merida. It's all over Mexico. I'm talking some places have total blackouts. CFE, which is the power company, is owned by the government. And this has been a problem for multiple years. If you go back and you look at some old articles, in 2021, I think it was, the whole Yucatan Peninsula power went out. They keep saying that they've upgraded the power grid, or they're going to upgrade the power grid, but obviously they didn't upgrade the power grid because they know with this extreme heat, there's going to be a big draw on the power. And we can only do so much as responsible citizens by making sure, we don't wash at peak hours, or we try not to run the AC in multiple rooms if you're not in there. Shutting your interior doors, not running power equipment, your microwave, your stoves. But at some point, where is their responsibility in all this? Let me let you know this. People say, oh, well, we're gonna go to the mall for a reprieve, or we'll go to the grocery store, we'll go to Walmart. Baby, they don't turn the air on. Now, when I lived in Thailand, always hot, but you knew if you went to the mall, it was gonna be freezing in there. They had that air conditioned pumping. You really need a sweater in the mall if you're gonna be in there for a while, or the grocery store. Not in Mexico. You're in Walmart, you're sweating. You're in the mall, you're sweating. You're in the grocery store, you're sweating. It's not cool in these stores. There's really no escape. I'm eating my lunch. So, as LaShawn mentioned in her video, when the power goes out, there's no street lights, there's no stoplights, so that's dangerous. It's not safe walking around because, you never know who's lurking in the dark, right? And people still take the bus and still have to walk home. We have electrical fences around our properties for the most part, most people do, but they're going down, so what's stopping someone from climbing over your fence and breaking in your house? Or, I don't know what kind of animals are out there. It depends on how far you live. They got jaguars here. And these little things that look like jaguars, like jaguarundis or something they call them. What's to stop some wild animal from coming in your yard? And then your water tank, your Tanaka, which is on your roof, that works by gravity, but the water has to be pumped from the ground up to the tank, and the bomba, the pump that's inside of the Tanaka, does not work if the power is out. So you got a water issue, right? Okay, so what can you do to try to make things a little bit easier for yourself in the case of a power outage. If you are coming to Merida or anywhere in Mexico to buy a home or build a home, as LaShawn mentioned, have solar panels installed if you don't already, if the house doesn't already have them, and have them on a backup battery or have a generator put in, because obviously this problem is not going to go away. So those are definitely probably the most important things you can do, is have solar panels with a backup battery and also and a generator. Now, you will want to have some type of surge protection for your appliances, for your electronics. And you want to make sure that you go and unplug things, because they are notorious here for power surges when the power does come back on. Now, my power went out the day before yesterday 6 times. My hot water tank is in one of those tankless water tanks, which is run by power. So every time the power goes out, the water tank cuts off as a protection for the tank so it don't burn out. So I have to keep going outside when the power comes back on and turning on the hot water tank, because I like hot water, okay? So having to go in and out the house to keep turning that hot water tank on is a pain in the behind. So don't buy one of those. Make sure you have a regular old gas run hot water tank. Do not get an electric run hot water tank. Next thing is, if you are coming here to rent, try to find a house with solar panels or a generator so that power outages are not an issue for you. Thankfully, we haven't had power outages more than an hour, 2 hours, I don't think. But imagine if the power went out for 6 or 7 hours. You're gonna need some help, okay? As LaShawn mentioned, you should bring some type of backup batteries to run your laptop, to run your cell phones. Because what are you going to do if the power's out for like 5-6 hours? Just sit there and look stupid? I mean, you need something to do. And maybe, you can read a book or whatever. But you still want to be able to maybe keep up on what's going on, right? And so you're going to need some power if your phones go out. But another good thing to have your laptop or with a backup battery is get you a USB fan. Okay, LaShawn has the one that goes around her neck. I have 2 that are about this big and they, tabletop. Those will at least help you some, where if you gotta hold it this close to your face, they'll help. And then you can always get like a mister bottle and just mist your face with water. Put that fan close to you. That will help to cool you down some. Get you I wouldn't get flashlights, and definitely don't use candles, because 1, they can be dangerous, but 2, candles do put off heat if you have more than 1 candle lit. So they have lanterns, like camping lanterns, battery operated. Bring one of those with you. So you're gonna bring battery operated fan, you're gonna bring a backup battery for your electronic devices, and you're going to bring some type of lantern, camping lantern, or flashlights, so that you can see if the power goes out at nighttime. Okay, you may have a habit of going to Costco or Sam's Club and buying big packs of meat. Not in the summertime, I wouldn't do that. Because if your power goes out for a couple hours, you take a big risk of all of your food to be ruined. And I know people will say, well, if you don't open the refrigerator, all the cold air will stay in. Not in Merida, it don't. Okay, the air conditioner, it keeps the room cool. I'm very comfortable right now, but I guarantee you, if I turn that air off, maybe because I'm a little chilly, so I turn it off for a while, probably about 20 minutes later, it's going right back on, because that's how fast it gets hot inside. The coolness does not linger. And the same thing with the refrigerator and the freezer. If that power goes out, that refrigerator and freezer on the interior is gonna get hot really fast. It's not gonna be one of those situations where your food can last 8 hours, 1 day, like in the States. Your food gonna be ruined. And if it's not ruined, whatever is frozen is gonna unthaw. Then when it comes back on, it's going to refreeze, and you're gonna have all that freezer burn because you're gonna have ice all over everything. I've already been there, done that. So my advice is during the summertime, don't go do no bulk shopping on meats. The government recommends that with this extreme heat, you be very careful about snakes and scorpions, because they are looking for somewhere cooler too to get in, or they are crawling up under things that maybe they wouldn't normally be under. If you happen, I don't know why you would, but if you happen to leave some shoes outside, most definitely shake them before you put your foot in them, or even bring them in the house, or pick them up. Just smack them and poke them with a stick or do something, but don't put your foot in there. I wouldn't even pick them up, but they tell you to exercise a little bit more vigilance with snakes and scorpions, because they too want to cool down, and it's really hot for them out here. I don't know what the hell them ants are doing, but they must have like immune feet, because I still got a bunch of ants running around my patio, and I know that concrete is hot and that tile is hot, but them ants aren't phased. But if you have pets, make sure you protect your pets' feet, because they can burn on this hot concrete or these hot tiles. So please, protect your doggies, and if you let your cat out, please protect your animals. They can't tell you that their feet are burning. And that brings me to something that I did the other day, which I regret. Don't lean up against no metal. Don't go picking up no metal. And if you have a water hose and you need to water some plants or water the grass, watch your hands. That water is hot. Whatever water is lingering in that hose that has been sitting in that hot sun all day, and it's almost like boiling water. So be very careful when you grab your hose and you turn that water on initially, because that water is going to be really, really, really hot. So these are type of things that you're going to need to consider coming to Merida. Now, as I said, when I lived in Thailand, it was extremely hot. But the reprieve that I had was I could go to the mall and it was freezing in there. If I took the subway or the SkyTrain, the air in there was pumping. So you get some relief from that extreme heat. Here in Merida, no, they're not running the AC like that in them stores. And there's no subway and there's no SkyTrain. So unless you're in an Uber and get lucky that your Uber driver has the air on, which they ain't really turning the air on like that. So you still be in the back seat sweating. And I've had a couple that wanted to ride with the windows down. My goodness, I mean, they don't get hot like we do. Americans get hot. We're not used to this kind of weather. We're not acclimated. We weren't born in it. If they're born in that, because you notice, you look at them, they're not sweating like us. We could be sweating buckets. And you look at them and they're not sweating. Yeah, but definitely know that when you come to Merida, this is going to be a challenge for you. Like I said, if you're coming to Merida, try to find you a house with solar panels, but it's not enough to have solar panels. You've got to have a backup battery with those solar panels so that power can be ran in the case of a power outage. Make sure you have some USB fans that you can plug into your laptop to try to cool you down a little bit, or some type of portable battery operated neck fan. And then bring some extra batteries to charge that laptop so you can keep that little itty bitty fan going until that power comes back on. And hydrate, protect your pets, watch out for creepy crawlies, and Yeah, y'all. Take care. Keep moving. Bye.